Hi, I'm Stan Sniff, Sheriff of Riverside County, and I've been able to serve this county as the 13th sheriff since the department was created in 1893. Well, as many of you know, I grew up in the Coachella Valley and in and around the Indio and Palm Desert and La Quinta area. Served in the Army. In fact, eventually retired out of the reserves a number of years ago. But all my roots, including that of my family, all the way back to some of those that founded the Coachella Valley, are quite deep. I wandered into law enforcement almost by accident. Somebody I'd met in the service invited me to come out and ride along with the then Coachella Police Department, and took them a while to convince me because I didn't have any obvious predisposition to be a law enforcement officer. But once I went on a ride along, like probably many people in the community have experienced since, I was really hooked on it, particularly the adrenaline surges. I was still in my early 20s and found it quite fascinating and very different from anything I had experienced growing up in the desert and the citrus and farming industry. I really enjoyed working in law enforcement. It's a great way to give back to the community, particularly in your youth. It's also an exciting job, very different from most of the other jobs that young people can look forward to. Sheriff's departments are very unique, and they touch automatically patrol operations. In our case, a massive patrol operation that impacts all 2.3 million folks across Riverside County, even if they're served by their own great police department. It impacts our correction system, where we end up running by law the county jail system to hold people in custody while they're awaiting trial and after they're sentenced. And of course, the judicial component is also touched by the sheriff, because uniquely it is the sheriff's department's responsibility to protect each and every one of those some 90 courtrooms spread across 7,300 square miles of Riverside County. And because of all the challenges we've had since I took office, I've pretty much been nonstop out dealing with community groups. So I spend most of my time quite literally with those people that I work for. So it's a unique responsibility that requires a lot of my personal time, 7 days a week, to connect and answer questions. So I take that responsibility very, very seriously. I certainly ask for the job, and that's what makes me tick. I have a very high energy level, and I'm driven to take the department to whatever heights that during my tenure that I can raise this department to be as close as we possibly can to all the communities we serve, and do all the great things that help make the quality of life better and better for every one of our communities. Some of the priorities I've had that we've made some great strides in are clearly the educational levels of the department. It's becoming a lot more complex job than when I first started in 1975 as a city police officer. It's far, far tougher and more challenging job for these young men and women that serve in our communities. And the other big one that I have openly embraced and the department has embraced here in Riverside County is diversity. So whether it's gender or ethnic or religious or any other orientation, the department has moved and really has established the gold standard for reflecting all the different communities that we end up serving. In closing, I'd also like to express my appreciation for even being nominated for this Above and Beyond award out of the Coachella Valley. It certainly is an honor, but it really is accepted on behalf of the 4,000 men and women that work in the uniform, in civilian clothes, and all the different capacities, all the different job skills that make up your Riverside County Sheriff's Department. This award really is an expression of support for a very, very great agency doing great work in every one of our communities day in and day out. And so all of us, and particularly I do, we recognize that, and I thank you very much for the support and the recognition of our great agency.